Hello, I'm at gufandhouse.com, and I'm here with Jason Henderson from Burton Snowboard. Jason, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Doing great. Doing great. This is vid number 2 for today. Jason's at the house again for, 7 years in a row or so, walking us through the hard goods line. And we're kind of to this category in bindings called, what we're calling right now, the best park binding. So best park bindings from Burton. We have the Mission, we have the Cartel, and then we have a Malavita. But just to kind of add into that too, you can ride whatever binding you want. If it's your personal preference to ride an X base while you jib, go for it. You can do that. If you want to ride the Freestyle in pipe, whatever floats your boat, do that. But these are the kind of the ones that stand out from consumers' perspective on park bindings. So what's going on, like basically through these three here?
Yeah, like you said, it's just kind of personal preference on what binding goes on what. For strap bindings, my personal favorite is Malavita. And it's not like I go, oh well, I'm gonna go ride POW, so I got to ride something else. It's that's my favorite binding for anything. It does everything well.
This one is the Malavita.
Yeah, that's my EST version, but that's just my personal preferences. On strap bindings, but yeah, I mean it's kind of like the meat and potatoes of our line. Like people that are experienced riders that that really do ride a lot. They generally fall, with what's on this table here.
Right.
So we've got some exciting new things with the Mission. We actually dropped the price down to $240.
Not bad.
And then we did put the hammock strap 2.0 on it. So again, the hammock straps are all injection molded pieces. Yep. There's no waste in the production of them. Any time they take these off the mold trees, they're chopping the flashing off and putting it back in the recycling stream. Versus some of the textile straps where you've got patterns that need to be cut out. There's always stitching and gluing and stuff like that. But we were definitely the first ones to come to the table with that, and we definitely refined that quite a bit. So it's awesome because you have your spine in the middle. You got this hammock on the outside that acts as the padding.
Right.
It works great. They don't get soaked with water either if you're riding a sloppy day, and then all of a sudden the temperature drops and you don't have this ice block of a strap,
Yeah.
So that is new to the Mission. Mm-hmm. So what's nice about all these bindings on this table is that they do have a nylon or a fiberglass injected nylon composite.
Great.
So a little more expensive to do, but what that does is it actually makes the bindings a little stiffer, more responsive. Mm-hmm. And the percentage of fiberglass to nylon kind of varies.
Right.
So like in the Mission and the Malavitas, you're at 30% fiberglass to nylon. I mean, maybe we're getting too nerdy here, but that's a really good kind of happy medium. Somebody wants, bigger guy, wants one binding, does everything well. That 30% is a really kind of, happy medium there. Like guys in our team, like Danny Davis, Ben Ferguson, they, Mark McMorris, they like that good middle of the road.
Sure.
That's where they like, Malavitas.
Mm-hmm.
We even have some guys that like, just straight up Missions, just like the simplicity of it. But if you got the guys that want, stiffer, more responsive binding, that ride pipe a lot, guys like, Ayumu and those, Japanese riders like that stiff knife edge performance, they go to Cartel.
Yep.
Because you're at 45% glass to nylon. So this is going to have like the same rigidity as like carbon, just without the price tag.
Wow. And that's like, I say it over and over again, the Cartel is still my favorite binding of all time. Like I'm a bigger than average dude, and I like quick edge, performance, and that's why I love
you
the
like
Cartel.
to turn, and you like it to happen now, and
right.
Yeah. So,
right.
And all of these are available in both the Reflex option and EST.
Cool. So what's Reflex mean?
So Reflex is a bind you can put on anything. You can put it on boards with the channel. If you have some of our old school boards with the 3D hole pattern,
right.
Burton will send you a disc. But it can also go on obviously 4x4.
Okay.
So again, Reflex is where we cut out a lot of the material in the middle. There's no plastic in the heel. And then the disc itself actually has a hinge built into it. So when the board is flexing, the disc flexes with it, the binding flexes with it. You don't get any of those dead spots like if this is just a straight one piece material there. So, but the benefit is you can put them on any board out there.
Right.
But then EST is a channel specific. It's definitely the best binding to board interface because you get infinite adjustability. There's no plastic underneath your foot, so then we have a good cushion there with the footbeds, and those kind of vary too, and you can definitely dial it in. It's kind of if you're buying a Burton board or a board with the channel, there's other companies adopting the channel now.
Get the
I'd
EST.
highly recommend the EST.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
but some people, there's guys in our team that ride our boards, but they like the feel of the Reflex. It's all personal preference. But
right. So the Mission kind of starts it all within within the line, and then for price point, it kind of jumps up into the Cartel, which is quite a bit stiffer than both of these bindings.
Yeah.
The Mission and the Malavita.
Yep. So to kind of try to fall in between price point wise. So here you go up to 280. Again, you got a little bit stiffer plastic. Yep. So or more nylon, so it's got that stiffness of carbon, just without the price tag. You go to you'll see auto cant in some of our footbeds. So what that is, it's a softer density foam on the inside versus the outside. So when you're turning, your boot tends to cant in when it needs to, but it also allows it to roll flat.
Right.
So it's not putting its stress on your knees as much. So there's a lot of some people put cants in their bindings, but that works great if you're 0-0. But most people don't ride 0-0 anymore. Right. So when you have angles and you have them canted in, that puts a lot of kind of stress on your knees. So having that auto cant in there to kind of when you're really on a toe side turn, to give when you need it to, but allows your foot to roll flat. So it's pretty key there. And then pretty much the same strap package as the Mission.
2.0.
Yep. We trickled that down to the Mission this year, but you got the Get a Grip cap strap. You get dual component buckles versus the single component, so you got the nylon teeth here. So when you have nylon interfacing nylon on the ladder straps, it doesn't wear as much. So a little smoother.
Cool. And then into your favorite one, the Malavita, we have Reflex and then
and also EST. Yep. So we go back to the 30% glass nylon here. You go to an asymmetrical hammock strap on there, so it's a little bit carved out here, a little bit more movement towards the inside of the binding. Also, we've got a new updated super cap on the toe. Right. So definitely, some feedback and just, obviously just being able to see it is our older strap just wasn't wrapping very well. Right. The new one is fully, injection molded. So again, a lot more eco-friendly. In that regard, but it does wrap a lot better, and it's about 20% lighter. Right, and it kind of has like the perimeter around the section is a little bit more, it feels a little bit more dense, but then there's also these gummy sections too. Yeah, it's tough to see it on the Vape Cloud colorway, but maybe on this colorway you can see it. Vape Cloud colorway? That's what it's called, yeah. That's great. The douche flute colorway. Yeah, Vape Nash. But yeah, it is injection molded, so you do have the nylon, but then kind of the urethane kind of gummy and also on the inside that grips the boot. Got it. And there's a lot of underneath that heel area. There's a lot of B3 gel too. That's one thing I really enjoy about the Malavita. It's like good shock absorption. If you're airing huge to flat, like that's gonna be nice underneath. Cuts down the shock to your knees. And then also the high back on this has a hammock in it too. So with this, it's got this grip panel back here. So what that does is it grips the backstay of your boot, so then you don't have to crank the straps in as tight. So that's right. It's getting the same response, just with less strap pressure. And it's snug. It feels that's what's kind of cool about it. Like usually I wear my pants between my high backs and my boot. But I suppose you'd probably get better response or a better like at first I'm kind of a weirdo. Like I like to have my pants over, but do you really? Yeah. I like showing off my high backs. Yeah. Like I got whatever. Show off. I know, right? I want to make sure that everyone knows I'm riding Burton. Yeah. No. And then this one. This is the wing back in the Malavita. It comes in a reflex option and it comes in the EST. Yeah. What's the story with the wingback? Why would someone want this? It's something that some of the team gravitated back towards. It's years ago. Yeah. Well, we had the Cobra Shark, but years ago we had the Mission GT is what it was called. Ooh. Where it actually had a removable wing on it, and it was more for carving and things like that. But some of the jib kids were kind of like, going through parts bins and stuff back at the proto facilities, and it's like, what's this all about? I was like, well, that'd be cool. We can ride a really soft boot you know, I can put that wing on there and it's going to give me more leverage when I'm pressing the board.
Mm-hmm.
So it works great for, you know, everything, like exiting turns. It transfers a lot of power in,
Right.
but allows you to ride a softer boot and then put that leverage where you need it, like in a stiffer boot.
Right.
Would give you, like when you're pressing the board and you know,
Right.
things like that. But
Yeah.
it's something that, you know, some of the team guys just, you know, really like. You know, Ethan Dice has always been riding it since
Yeah.
day one, like with the wing, you know, since he's been on the team. And it's awesome.
Those
know?
are the ones. Well, it's kind of cool to look at the line, and yeah, I guess if I could segment these 3 bindings, Jibber would probably be on the Mission. Both, you know, big jump, small jump, Jibber would be on the Malavita, and kind of like big hard charging rider, pipe, huge jumps.
Yeah,
And
carving
even
guy.
Carving
whatever,
guy
yeah.
would be like on the Cartel.
Yeah.
But you know, with saying that, you can have a preference to ride anywhere, but that's kind of where I think most of these bindings kind of fall.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, you know, best binding for the money. You know, if you're shopping on a budget, that Mission will drive any board out there.
Yeah.
So if you know, stepped up and bought, you know, a Custom X with
Right.
a stiff, you know, one of our stiffer, more responsive boards, you're going to need a binding to drive that.
Yep.
The Mission will definitely do that.
That's right.
If you want it to charge harder, then put the Cartel on it,
Cartels.
but, you know,
Yep.
or X-Base or
Right.
anything really stiff.
Yep.
But the Mission is probably your best bang for the buck at 240. Kind of feeds in, you know, it's kind of a combination of these two, but at a lower price.
Right.
So.
Awesome. Well, man, Jayson, thanks again for being here.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Love it.
Cool. Yeah, and of course, thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment or question. Let us know what you think of these things here, the Mission, the Cartel, and the Malavitas. Subscribe to the channel over there. Check out more vids here, and hopefully we'll see you guys on snow. Peace.
See ya.